Someone came to me one time and they said, how can you be in a religion that allows a 53-year-old man to have sex with a 6-year-old girl? A'udhu billah. As soon as I heard this, I was so angry. I felt inside that I was going to explode. How could somebody say such a statement? It indicated to me that this is a person who either doesn't understand real Islam, or else this is a person who's trying to start a fight. Because this is not something tolerated in Islam at all. Even now talking about it, I feel it again. Because it's a lie, number one, and it misrepresents everything Islam is all about. But let's break it down. Suppose somebody came to you with that, and what would you do? I hope that you would benefit from these programs. I hope I benefit from it as well for this, to learn how to control ourselves when people approach us with that. We must not react. Not react in kind. What we have to do is be even kinder. Somebody comes to you with this question, how can you be in a religion where a 53-year-old man has sex with a 6-year-old girl? Remember this, the Prophet ﷺ, peace be upon him, was attacked much harsher by the people of Taif. So it's up to us to respond like this. Thank you for asking me about my religion. Now they're going to go, huh? Thank you for asking me about my religion. In Islam, it's forbidden for us to lie. If we lie, we can go to hell forever. And in Islam, we have the proof. We have the clear evidences. The texts have been authenticated and preserved for 1400 years. Even if I did lie, you could prove quickly that that's incorrect. So we have the truth and we have the proof. But we have something else too. What we have here is a way to present the wisdom or the hikmah of an answer. And that's now going to be your responsibility, to show the people the real truth of Islam. And you do that by looking and examining the question itself. Is there, in fact, in the question a false statement? Because if that's the case, then we have to straighten the question out before we can answer it. And then ask them, while we're giving the answer, if you hear something that you like, and you say, gee whiz, that's nice, I didn't know that. And you admire it, and you say, yeah, I want that for me. Then are you going to be prepared to reconsider your position and consider worshiping your God and your Lord and my Lord, worshiping Him on His terms without partners? Because you see, in fact, that's all Islam is about anyway. Worshiping God, doing what He wants you to do. But now let's come back to your question. You ask me about an age difference, 53 and 6, and you ask about specifically a verb, an action, which is sex, to have sex. I will share with you something, that if the question contains a mistake in it, I can't answer it. Example, if you came to me and you said, by the way, Yusuf, is your mother out of jail yet? Yes or no? This is the two choices, yes or no. How can I answer this question? My mother's never been in jail. Oh, no. Yes or no? Is she out of jail? Well, she's not in jail, therefore she's out of jail. Okay, my mother's out of jail. Good, I'm glad she got out. She never was in. So no matter how I answer this question, it's a trap. I can't answer a question like that because it has what? It has a lie in the question. So let's go back and look again. The verb, the act of sex. If somebody said, does your religion permit a 53-year-old man to have sex with a 6-year-old girl? The answer is no. Because in Islam, it is not permitted a man of any age to have sex with a woman of any age. There is no sex in Islam, except through what? Legitimate contractual marriage. There has to be something which is legitimate in Islam, established for the benefit of the woman and the benefit of the man, because of the rights and the limits that we've been talking about. The mistake here is to forget, when we're talking to these people, they're meaning one thing and we mean something else. We're considering, as Muslims, they're talking about the relationship of a man and a woman in marriage, whereas they're just talking about sex, period. This is a mentality that is derived from years and years of being exposed to television and movies and periodicals, magazines, newspaper, radio, etc. And these trash magazines at the checkout counter of the grocery store, sex, sex, sex. This is on their brain. It's not permitted in Islam. We don't have boyfriends and girlfriends. We don't have mistresses. We don't have these prostitutes, I'm sorry to say, but we don't have these kinds of things in Islam. This is not a part of Islam. It's all forbidden. What do we have? What we have in Islam is marriage, and that's it. If a man is married, it is forbidden for him to have a girlfriend or to have a mistress. Any of these kinds of things, or just what they call one-night stand. All of these things are so forbidden in Islam, a man can be punished severely for such a thing as this. And of course, I have to tell you, the same is true for the woman. If the woman would engage in something outside of marriage, she likewise can be punished. It's in the Islamic law. Marriage is a sacred thing in Islam from the standpoint that once you enter into this contract, you don't break it. But it's the only way you're going to have a sexual relationship. When there is sex and there is a child, that child has rights. Right? The woman has rights, the man has rights, the child has rights, but it comes about through a contract, something that's signed up front that people understand what it's all about. So, the answer to the question is, that doesn't exist in Islam. Now, I know what's going to happen. They're going to say, yeah, we're talking about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and blah, 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 and his relationship with one of his wives, and she was a little girl. Oh, hold it. Let's go back. It was a marriage. And let's go and look at the text itself. I told you, in Islam, we can prove what we're saying. We have the proof. Let's look. You're going to go to Sahih al-Bukhari, and you're going to pull up a statement in there, in English translation, talking about Aisha, and she's 6 years old. Okay. But did you know that that's not what it says? It doesn't say sex anywhere in there. And by the way, this is on her authority. She's the one narrating this. So before we go any further, I'm going to ask you, do you accept Aisha as being a truthful source of information? Because if you don't, there's no point in going any further. And if you are going to accept what she says, are you going to accept everything she says? Or just what you want to hear? Because she also said, La ilaha illallah. She also said there's no God to worship except Allah. Do you believe that? Are you going to accept that? Never mind. Let's just keep moving. She tells us in this authentic hadith, teaching or story in Islam, that she was outside playing. She's playing in the dirt, having fun, and her mother, now listen to this, her mother comes to her and takes her inside. Who's inside? Inside is her father. And her father is talking to her father's best friend and distant cousin, which happens to be Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him. There is something being presented or offered here, which is marriage. The father is offering her hand in marriage to his best friend. But it didn't happen because she said, and read it for yourself, she went back outside and was playing in the dirt. Why didn't it happen? And what did really happen? And when did it happen? The answer to these questions and more are coming up in the next part of this program, the next segment. So be sure you stay tuned to hear the answers to this when we return with Lifting the Fog. We'll be right back after this.